China successfully launched its largest carrier rocket on Tuesday, carrying a new generation spacecraft.
China successfully launched its largest carrier rocket on Tuesday, carrying a new generation spacecraft. For years, China has been making rapid advancements in technology, pushing the limits of what was once thought possible. Now, they have revealed something so powerful and advanced that it could revolutionize various fields, from artificial intelligence to space exploration. Competing fiercely with global superpowers, China's latest breakthrough is unlike anything seen before. This mysterious new technology raises questions about its impact on industries, economies, and global power dynamics. On February 11, 2025, at 11:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a new Chinese carrier rocket, designed to deploy larger batches of satellites in a single launch, completed its first flight. Scientists have revealed that this rocket is part of Beijing's strategy to counteract US billionaire Elon Musk's dominant presence in Earth's lower orbits through SpaceX. The origins of China's space program trace back to the 1950s when, with assistance from the newly allied Soviet Union, China initiated the development of its first ballistic missile and rocket programs in response to perceived American and Soviet threats. Motivated by the successes of the Soviet Sputnik 1 and American Explorer 1 satellite launches in 1957 and 1958, China launched its first satellite, Dongfang Hong 1, in April 1970 aboard a Long March 1 rocket, becoming the fifth nation to place a satellite in orbit. Today, China boasts one of the most active space programs, supported by the Long March rocket family and 4 spaceports, Jiuquan, Taiyuan, Xichang, and Wenchang, within its borders. China is reported to conduct one of the highest numbers of space launches annually, expanding its reach from low Earth orbit to the Moon and Mars. Alongside the United States and Russia, China is one of the 3 countries with independent human spaceflight capabilities. One of China's recent groundbreaking space programs is the Tiangong Space Station, a permanently crewed space station operated by the China Manned Space Agency, CMSA. Tiangong follows a modular design, with modules docked together in low Earth orbit at altitudes between 340 and 450 kilometers, approximately 210 to 280 miles. It is China's first long-term space station and serves as the core of the 3rd phase of the country's manned space program. With a pressurized volume of 340 cubic meters and an approximate area of 12,000 square feet, Tiangong is slightly over 1/3 the size of the International Space Station. The space station was designed to facilitate space-based experiments and foster scientific and technological innovation. According to CMSA, Tiangong aims to develop expertise in spacecraft summit technology, long-term human operations in orbit, autonomous spaceflight, regenerative life support systems, and autonomous cargo and fuel supply technology. The station also serves as a platform for next-generation orbital transportation, scientific vehicles, large-scale practical applications, and technology for future deep space exploration. CMSA has encouraged private sector involvement in space-related commercial activities, hoping to drive cost-effective aerospace innovations. Another significant development in China's space program is the era of X-ray telescopic microsatellites. In June 2017, China launched its first astronomical satellite, the Hard X-ray Modulation Telescope, HXMT, from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. Developed by the China Academy of Space Technology, this satellite was designed to observe the Milky Way and explore phenomena such as black holes, gamma-ray bursts, and pulsars interiors. The Institute of High Energy Physics, IHEP, of the Chinese Academy of Sciences was responsible for designing and constructing the HXMT, as well as developing payloads and the scientific ground segments. The telescope is unique due to its stability, resolution, and duration of measurement. HXMT is based on the Z12 and Phoenix I-2 satellite bus platforms, developed by the Chinese Academy of Space Technology, with a launch mass of 2,500 kilograms and a 4-year mission lifespan. Officially approved in August 2011, satellite design and production began in December 2016 following acceptance of its proto-flight model. The first round of core scientific observation tasks was unveiled in June 2016, encompassing 90 core observation proposals sourced from 6 CAS institutes and 10 universities. The HXMT satellite carries 3 primary payloads, high-, medium-, and low-energy X-ray telescopes, which allow it to capture high-quality X-ray images through direct demodulation and scanning observations. The telescope aids in detecting large areas with high statistical accuracy and signal-to-noise ratio. Its key objectives include scanning the galactic plane for new transient sources, monitoring known variable sources, and searching for X-ray binaries to assess dynamics and emission mechanisms in extreme gravitational or magnetic fields. It will also investigate gamma-ray bursts, GRBs, using a CSI detector. China's lunar exploration program has also made remarkable advancements, particularly with the Chang'e 4 mission. Chang'e 4 is a robotic spacecraft mission under the China National Space Administration, CNSA, that successfully made a soft landing on the far side of the Moon on January 3, 2019, the first spacecraft ever to do so. Initially built as a backup for Chang'e 3, it became available after Chang'e 3's successful landing in 2013. The mission's configuration was adjusted to accommodate new scientific and performance objectives. Named after Chang'e, the Chinese moon goddess, the mission included the launch of the communication relay satellite Qiu to a halo orbit near the Earth-Moon L2 point in May 2018. The robotic lander and rover, Yutu-2, were launched on December 7, 2018, and entered lunar orbit on December 12, 2018, before successfully landing on the Moon's far side. On January 15, 2019, it was announced that seeds had sprouted in the lunar lander's biological experiment, marking the first plants to grow on the Moon. As a follow-up to Chang'e 3, this mission received global recognition. In November 2019, the Chang'e 4 mission team was awarded a gold medal by the Royal Aeronautical Society, and in October 2020, it received the World Space Award from the International Astronautical Federation, marking the first time a Chinese mission received such prestigious honors. The Chang'e 4 spacecraft, with a mass of approximately 3,780 kilograms, was designed for a mission duration of 12 months. Another recent development in China's space program is the Shenzhou 19 mission. A team comprising 2 men and 1 woman was among those selected to replace the astronauts who had been stationed on the Tiangong space station for the past 6 months, conducting various experiments and maintaining the structure. The Shenzhou 19 spaceship, which carried the trio, was launched from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in northwest China. These advancements reflect China's ongoing commitment to technological innovation and its growing influence in space exploration. With ambitious programs spanning from X-ray telescopes to lunar exploration and space stations, China's latest developments are set to reshape the global space landscape. On October 29, 2024, at 4:27 a.m. local time, China successfully launched the Shenzhou 19 spacecraft atop a Long March 2F rocket, the backbone of China's crewed space missions. The mission's crew, consisting of Commander Kai Shu, a veteran of the Shenzhou 14 mission in 2022, and 2 first-time space travelers, Song Lingong and Wang He, are expected to stay aboard the Tiangong space station until April or May 2025. Song and Wang, born in the 1990s, graduates of China's third wave of astronaut recruitment, having undergone years of rigorous training and testing. On the morning of October 30, 2024, China's state broadcaster, CCTV, announced that the launch and entry into outer space were a complete success, with the crew reported to be in good condition. China's independent space station development follows its exclusion from the International Space Station due to U.S. concerns over the People's Liberation Army, contributing to the growing space rivalry with nations such as the U.S., Japan, and India. Beyond its space station efforts, China has also achieved significant milestones in planetary exploration. In 2021, the China National Space Administration, CNSA, successfully landed the Zhurong rover on Mars, making China the second nation after the US to land a rover on the Red Planet. After months in orbit, the Tianwen-1 spacecraft deployed Zhurong for a historic landing in Utopia Planitia, a vast plain that may have once been an ancient ocean. The 529-pound rover survived a challenging descent, utilizing parachutes and retro-rockets to safely land. Its mission is to search for water and evidence of past life, with China aiming to land humans on the Moon before 2030, becoming the second country after the US to do so. China has already achieved major lunar exploration successes, including transferring rock and soil samples from the Moon and landing a rover on the unexplored far side. Furthering its lunar ambitions, China made history in May 2024 with the launch of the Chang'e 6 lunar probe aboard a Long March 5Y8 carrier rocket from the Wenchang Space Launch Site in Hainan. This mission, the first ever attempt to retrieve lunar samples from the Moon's far side, took approximately 53 days, more than double the duration of its predecessor, Chang'e 5. The probe was designed for an 11-stage mission, including lunar orbit insertion and surface sampling, and is expected to return around 2,000 grams of lunar material, significantly more than Chang'e 5's payload. The Chang'e 6 mission aims to pioneer new techniques in lunar orbit control, intelligent sampling, and ascent from the far side, with a strong focus on international collaboration and future deep space exploration. China's advancements extend beyond lunar exploration, with significant strides in spaceflight technology. On May 5, 2020, the Long March 5B rocket made its maiden flight, successfully launching an experimental new-generation crewed spacecraft and a cargo return capsule. The launch, conducted by the China Manned Space Agency, CMSA, marked a major milestone in China's space program, signifying the third phase of its long-term goal to construct a space station. The Long March 5B, a key vehicle for launching space station modules, measures 53.7 meters in length and has a 5-meter diameter core stage with 4 boosters. Utilizing environmentally friendly propellants, including liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen, and kerosene, the rocket boasts a takeoff mass of approximately 849 tons and can transport over 22 tons of payload into low Earth orbit, making it the most powerful carrier rocket in China's fleet. The successful maiden flight validated the rocket's design and verified technological breakthroughs, such as large fairing separation and precise orbital entry control. The new crewed spacecraft, designed for both low Earth orbit missions and deep space exploration, consists of a service capsule and a return capsule. The mission also tested critical technologies, including re-entry control, heat shielding, and recovery, reinforcing China's space ambitions and its readiness for future deep space endeavors. China's space program has been making significant advancements, conducting various space science experiments, including space 3D printing, on its experimental spacecraft. On October 24, 2021, China launched the Shijian-21 satellite, a debris mitigation technology satellite, using a Long March 3B rocket from the Xichang Satellite Launch Center in Sichuan Province. The satellite entered a geosynchronous orbit, with U.S. military tracking data confirming its placement in an elliptical geostationary transfer orbit, reaching approximately 35,800 kilometers above Earth. The satellite is expected to use its propulsion system to stabilize its orbit. The China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation confirmed the successful launch, with the Shijian-21 satellite developed by the Shanghai Academy of Spaceflight Technology. Reports indicate that the U.S. Space Force's 18th Space Control Squadron catalogued a new object alongside Shijian-21, identified as a rocket body or an apogee kick motor used for orbital adjustments. Another notable mission was the Tianwen-1 Mars exploration program, launched by the China National Space Administration, CNSA. This interplanetary mission, which included an orbiter, lander, and rover, was launched on July 23, 2020, from the Wenchang spacecraft launch site using a Long March 5 heavy-lift rocket. The nearly 5-ton spacecraft, one of the heaviest probes sent to Mars, carried 14 scientific instruments to study the planet's geology, internal structure, atmospheric conditions, and potential signs of water. After a 7-month journey, it entered Martian orbit on February 10, 2021, and following 3 months of reconnaissance, the lander and rover successfully touched down on April 14, 2021. This made China the third nation, after the Soviet Union and the United States, to successfully land on Mars and establish communication. On May 22, 2021, the Zhurong rover descended onto the Martian surface, making China the second nation after the US to accomplish such a feat. Tianwen-1 also became the second mission, after NASA's Perseverance rover, to capture audio from Mars. However, in 2023, the Zhurong rover lost contact after failing to awaken from hibernation. On October 16, 2021, China successfully launched the Shenzhou-13 crewed mission, sending 3 astronauts to the Tianhe core module of its space station for a 6-month mission. The spacecraft, atop a Long March 2F carrier rocket, launched from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in the Gobi Desert at 12:23 a.m. Beijing time. After 582 seconds, Shenzhou-13 separated from the rocket and entered its designated orbit, with the China Manned Space Agency, CMSA, confirming the crew's good health and mission success. The mission was the 21st flight under China's manned space program, featuring astronauts Xi Zhigang, Wang Yaping, China's first female astronaut to visit the space station and perform extravehicular activities, and Yi Guangfu, a newcomer to space. Their mission involved operating mechanical arms, conducting extravehicular activities, and testing module transfers, while also verifying long-term astronaut habitation technologies. The Tianzhou-3 cargo ship had earlier delivered supplies for this mission on September 20, docking at the rear port of the Tianhe module. The space station complex, including the Tianhe module and cargo ships Tianzhou-2 and Tianzhou-3, was prepared for the crew's arrival and mission operations. Most recently, China's space program has reached new heights with the maiden launch of the heavy-lift Long March 8A rocket on February 11, 2025. The launch took place at 5:30 p.m. local time, 9:30 Greenwich Mean Time, from the Wenchang Space Launch Center on Hainan Island, carrying a cluster of low Earth orbit satellites. The Long March 8A is an upgraded version of the medium-lift Long March 8, first launched in 2020. According to the China Aerospace Science and Technology Group Corporation, CASC, the Long March 8A boasts an increased payload capacity of 7 tons, enabling China to deploy larger satellite constellations into low and medium Earth orbits in a single mission. Additional upgrades include a more efficient upper stage, designed to reduce fuel consumption and enhance satellite lifespan. These developments highlight China's growing capabilities in space exploration and satellite deployment, positioning the nation as a formidable force in the global space race. China is reportedly planning to accelerate the deployment of satellites into Earth's lower orbits this year, with dozens of scheduled launches aimed at matching the numbers of Starlink, the satellite network owned by Elon Musk's SpaceX, which currently has nearly 7,000 active satellites in orbit. While the US is believed to be leading in space exploration and preparing to land astronauts on the moon for the first time in over 50 years, China's new crew is expected to perform spacewalks and install new equipment to protect its space station from space debris, some of which was created by China itself. Years ago, China predicted that by 2025, it would complete its first 100-kilowatt space-based solar power station, SPS, demonstration in low Earth orbit, with plans for a 100-megawatt SPS by 2035. Reports suggest that by 2050, the first commercial SPS system will be operational in geostationary orbit, marking a project of significant scale, comparable to the Apollo program's impact on energy development. Historically, America's dominance in science and technology was closely linked to the advancements brought by the Apollo program, and similarly, China's aerospace achievements continue to build upon successive satellite projects. China is expected to leverage its space science capabilities to ensure sustainable energy development from space. In 2015, the China Academy of Space Technology, CAST, team won the International Sunsat Design Competition with their video showcasing a multi-rotary joint concept, later detailed in a 2016 paper for the online Journal of Space Communication. Lieutenant General Zhong Yulin, Deputy Chief of the PLA Armament Development Department of the Central Military Commission, suggested that China would next focus on exploiting Earth-Moon space for industrial development, with the goal of constructing space-based solar power satellites capable of beaming energy back to Earth. In June 2021, Chinese officials confirmed their ongoing plans for a geostationary solar power station by 2050, with an updated schedule that included a small-scale electricity generation test in 2022, followed by a megawatt-level orbital power station by 2030. The envisioned gigawatt-level geostationary station would require more than 10,000 tons of infrastructure to be delivered through over 100 Long March 9 rocket launches. As China continues to innovate and push the boundaries of space exploration, future advancements remain unpredictable, with the potential for groundbreaking discoveries and technological achievements.